Hey guys, welcome to episode 2 of Doki Literature Club. Let's go ahead and get into this. We completed the first day. You can use the skip button. Fast forward through text you've already read. That'd be nice. Well, I'm back at the Literature Club. I was the last one to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out.
Thanks for keeping your promise, Ligby. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you. Making your dive head first into literature when you're not accustomed to it. Oh, come on! Like he deserves any slack. Sayori told me you didn't even want to join any clubs this year. And last year, too. I don't know if you plan to just come in here and hang out, or what. But if you don't take it seriously, then you won't see the end of it. Natsuki, you certainly have a big mouth for someone who keeps her manga collection in the club room.
Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monica and manga.
Manga is literature.
Well, some people think so. I like it. I love it. I'd say it's literature. Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plops back into her seat. I can't remember her voice.
Don't worry, guys. Ligby always gives his best as long as he's having fun. He helps me with busy work without me even asking, like cooking, cleaning my room. How dependable.
Sayori, that's because your room is so messy, it's distracting. And you almost set your house on fire once.
Is that so?
You two are really good
friends, aren't you? I might be a little jealous. How come? You and Ligby can become good friends too.
Sayori. As usual, Sayori seems oblivious to the weird situation she just put me into.
Oh, Yuri even brought you something today, you know. Well, wait, Sayori.
Eh? Me?
Not really. Don't be shy.
Oh my god, I don't know why I did that.
It's really nothing.
What is it?
Never mind. Sayori made it sound like a big deal when it's really not. What do I do?
Eh?
I'm sorry, Yuri. I wasn't thinking.
Yeah, you frickin' airhead. I guess it means it's up to me to rescue the situation. Hey, don't worry about it. First of all, I wasn't expecting anything in the first place, so any nice gesture from you is a pleasant surprise. It'll make me happy no matter what. I will be right back. I just remembered I left my coffee sitting on the counter. I'll be right back. Sorry about that, folks. I'm back now. I got my coffee. I know my mug's a little Christmas mug. It says I'm not a morning person until December 25th, which is completely true. I'm not a morning person even though it's like 7:56 right now. It'll make me happy no matter what.
Is that so?
Yeah, I won't make it a big deal if you don't want it to be.
Alright. Well, here.
Yuri reaches in her bag and pulls out a book.
I didn't want you to feel left out, so I picked out a book that I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention even if you don't usually read.
I have ADHD, so I can read, but dear lord, my attention span's off the darn charts.
And we could, you know, discuss it
if you wanted. Man, this could be an innuendo. This is... How is this girl accidentally being so cute? She even picked out a book she thinks I'll like, despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you. I'll definitely read this after I stop yawning. I enthusiastically take the book. I am so sorry that I just yawned in y'all's ear. Dearly, truly am sorry. Also, I didn't realize it. I think I need to turn down the game. Just give me a second. Okay, I think that's better. I've gotten a couple of complaints from a friend of mine who watched one of my videos recently and was like, man, your audio sounds so weird. I'm like, man, maybe I need to turn down the game volume just a little bit so my voice is a little bit louder than the game.
Well, you can read at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think.
Now that everyone's settled in, I expected Monica to kick off some scheduled activities for club, but that doesn't seem to be the case. So Yuri and Monica are having a cheery conversation in the corner. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. You can't help but notice her intense expression like she was waiting for this chance. Knowing her, she sounds like an introvert, so I'm betting she was just waiting for an excuse to bury her face back in a book. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet. Like a raccoon? I'm really curious to talk to Yuri a little bit more, but at the same time I feel bad for distracting her from reading. I catch a glimpse of the cover of her book. It looks like the same book that she went to me. More than that, she seems to be on the first few pages. Wait, okay, so did this coincide with the choices I made in the first poem? Because remember how I went more towards Yuri's dialogue than I did towards Natsuki or Sayori. So this is kind of odd. Crap. I think she noticed me looking at her. Also, I like how the music changes when you're doing an interaction with someone. She sneaks another glance at me and our eyes meet for a split second. But that only makes her hide her face deeper in her book. Sorry. I was just spacing out. I muttered this, sensing I made her uncomfortable.
Oh, it's fine. If I was focused, then I probably wouldn't have noticed in the first place. But I'm just rereading a bit of this, so...
That's the book that you gave me, right?
Mm-hmm. I wanted to reread some of it. Not for any particular reason. Just curious.
Just curious, how come you have two copies of the same book?
Well, when I stopped at the bookstore yesterday, that's not what I meant. I mean, I just happened to buy two of them.
Ah, I see. There's something fairly obvious here that Yuri isn't telling me, but I decide to let it go. Buddy, she's flirting with you. She got the same book as you so that she can read the book with you. Pick up on social cues. Dear Lord. I'm starting to actually sound like my mother. Let's see. I'll definitely start reading it soon.
I'm glad to hear. Once it starts to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down. It's a very engaging, relatable story.
Is that so? What's it about anyways?
Well...
Yuri closes the book and scans her eyes over the back. The book is titled Portrait of Markov. There's an ominous looking eye symbol on the front cover. Is this like a Cthulhu, Lovecraftian book she's reading?
Alright. I just want to make sure I don't accidentally give anything away. Basically, it's about this girl in high school who moves in with her long-lost sister. But as soon as she does so, her life gets really strange. She gets targeted by these people who escaped from an experiment lab, or prison. And while her life is in danger, she needs to desperately choose who to trust. No matter what she does, she ends up destroying most of her relationships and her life starts to fall apart.
It's kind of dark, isn't it? Yeah, no, it really is. To be completely honest, dear Lord. And the fact she looks cheery that she's reading that book. Yuri made it sound like it was going to be a nice story, so that dark churn came from nowhere. Yuri gently giggles all of a sudden.
Are you not a fan of that sort of thing, LigBeast?
No, it's not that. I mean, I can definitely enjoy those kinds of stories, so don't worry.
I hope so.
Yeah, I totally forgot that Yuri is into those things. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different.
It's just that those kinds of stories, they challenge you to look at life from a strange new perspective. When horrible things happen, not just because someone wants to be evil.
Isn't she like a yandere? Like yandere? It's starting to sound like it.
But because they have their own goals, or their own philosophy that they believe in, then suddenly, when you thought you were ready to protect it, they're out to be the naive one for letting their one-sided morals interfere with the villain's plans. I'm rambling, aren't I? Not again. I'm sorry.
Hey, don't apologize. I haven't lost interest or anything.
Well, I guess it's alright then. But I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem.
She's glancing at me through her hair, and honestly, that is adorable.
When I let things like books and writings fill my thought, I kind of forget to pay attention to other people, so I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange. And please stop me if I start talking too much.
I really don't think you need to worry. It just means you're passionate about reading. The least I can do is listen. It's literature club after all.
That's true.
In fact, I might as well get started reading it, right?
You don't have to.
What are you saying? Just a moment ago you said you were looking forward to it. Let me just get the book. I quickly retrieved the book that I had put into my bag. Alright, it's fine if I sit here, right? Am I sitting right beside her? Did I just pull a smooth criminal just slid into place where I needed to be? Oh, it's gonna stain my teeth. I slip into the seat next to Yuri's.
Yeah,
Are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive.
I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to. It's just something I'm not very used to. I'm not a social butterfly. I'm an introvert, plus I'm a little psycho. So, don't worry about it. That is reading in company with someone.
I see. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything.
Alright.
I open the book and start the prologue. I soon understand what Yuri means about reading in company. It's as if I feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. It's not a particularly bad thing, maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri is in the corner of my eye. I realize that she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. It looks like she's reading from my book instead.
Sorry. I was just...
Yuri, you really do apologize a lot, don't you? That is actually like another symptom of trauma, and I always remember this. If you're the type who says sorry a lot, and you don't realize it, you just say it a lot. Like how she just said, I do? She's the type who probably had some really bad trauma as a child, and so in her mind, everything is kind of warped, which is probably why she finds comfort in horror. I find comfort in reading horror novels. Playing horror games, not the same. Some of them are really good, some of them scare the pants off me.
I don't really mean to. Sorry. I mean...
Here, this should work, right? I slide my desk until it's up against Yuri's, then hold my book more between the two of them.
I suppose so.
Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we each lean a little bit, our shoulders are almost touching. It feels like my left arm is in the way, so instead I use my right hand to hold the book open. I guess that makes it kind of difficult to turn the page.
Here.
Yuri takes her left arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and forefinger. I do the same with my right arm on the right side of the book. That way I turn a page and Yuri slides it under her thumb after it flips to her side. But in holding it like this, we're huddled even closer together than before. It's actually kind of distracting me. I feel my arm brushing against hers. It's as if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face and she's in the corner of my vision.
Are you ready?
Are you ready? I'm stupid, I'm sorry.
To turn the page.
Sorry. I was daydreaming like I normally do. I think I got a bit distracted for a second. I glance over at Yuri's face again and our eyes meet. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her.
That's okay. You're not as used to reading, right? You're an idiot. I'm sure you fail all your classes like you've always done. I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. Because also you're not that brilliant. You're actually really dumb, and I'm gonna glance at you like this again, because why not? It's kind of cute and endearing, but I know that there's something behind those eyes that I don't like, because I see a little red dot right there. You're recording me, you got a camera in your eye? It's probably the least I can do, since you've been so patient with me. Yeah, you don't pick up on social cues. Thanks. We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume that she finishes the page for me, so I turn it by my own volition. She read the first chapter in silence, even so turning each page almost wielded an intimate exchange, my thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side as she catches under her own thumb. Hey, Yuri. This might be a silly thought, but the main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit. You think so? How does she? Well, I guess she's more blunt in a lot of ways, but she also second guesses all things that she says and does. Like she's afraid she'll do something wrong. It's not like I can see into your head or anything, but they're kind of reminiscent of some of your mannerisms. I see. Yuri remained silent for a moment. But Ligby, that's probably a terrible thing to have in common with her. That's so embarrassing that you think that. Well, wait. I didn't mean it in a bad way or anything. Sorry, I really don't know you were self-conscious about that sort of thing. I guess I more meant that it's kind of cute. What are you saying all of a sudden? Okay, everyone. I think it's about time we share today's poems with each other. We might not have enough time if we wait too long. Yuri exhales, spared from finishing her thoughts. Is that alright, Yuri? You look kind of down. I'm sorry if you haven't been looking forward to this. It's not. It's fine. He releases her hand from the book, causing it to close on top of my thumb. Alright. I guess I'll do some more reading tonight. Or would you prefer I only read it with you? I guess I don't have too much of a preference either way. In that case, I'll read a little more tonight. It'll be more fun to read with you after it picks up a bit, you know. That's good reasoning. This book is a slow burn. In that case, feel free to finish the first few chapters in your own time. Alright. I stand up. I make a mental note of where I left off in the book, then slip it back into my bag. By the way, did you remember to write a poem last night? Yeah. My relaxation ends. I can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. I couldn't really find much inspiration since I've never really done this before. Well, now that everyone's ready, why don't you find someone to share with? I can't wait! Yuri and Monica enthusiastically pull out their poems. Yuri's is on a wrinkled sheet of loose leaf torn from a spiral notebook. On the other hand, Monica wrote hers in a composition notebook. I can already see Monica's pristine handwriting from where I sit. Natsuki and Yuri rectally comply as well, reaching into their bags. I do the same myself. Who should I show my poem to first? Let's do Yuri. Yuri seems the most experienced, so I should start with her. I can trust her opinion to be fair. As Yuri's poem, I notice her eyes lighten. Exceptional. What was that? Did I just say that out loud? Yuri covers her mouth, but then ends up covering her whole face. He's going to hate me. You really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri. I guess you're right. What am I getting so nervous for? Yuri takes a breath. So, what kind of writing experience do you have? Your use of imagery and metaphors indicates you've written a lot of poetry before. Really? Wow, that's a huge compliment coming from you. This is actually my first time, really. Huh? Yuri stares at me blankly, then looks at my poem again. Yes, I know, I wrote a beautiful piece of literature. Man, at this rate, I'll finish my coffee by the end of this video. Well, I know that. I just meant, Yuri trails off, unable to find an excuse. She traces her fingers along the words in the poem as if breaking it down more thoroughly. Yeah, okay. This is the reason I was able to tell. It's just there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers, and having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most notable thing I recognize in their eyes is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they form-fit the two together. The end result is that both the style and expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It just takes you some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little bit biased though. Biased? How? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry. It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri is apologizing to herself, to me, or to Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now? Please do. I'd love to share my thoughts process behind it. Yuri smiles dreamily as it's a rare opportunity for her, which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't it supposed to be a literature club? Ghost under the light, the tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath amber glow. Bathing. It must be this one. The last remaining streetlight to have withstood the test of time, the last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe. Calm, breathing air of the present, but living in the past. The light flickers. I flicker back. I'm sorry I have such terrible handwriting. What? Her handwriting is a lot better than mine. That was a chicken scratch. I wasn't thinking that at all, but it took you a long time to read it. Well, I just don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty. That's a relief. Also, I like the poem. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive. It wasn't too short. I usually write longer poems. Not at all. I'm really glad you like it. I'll be honest, since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to just write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose. Are you into ghosts, Yuri? Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all, LigBeast. Really? I must have totally missed the point. Well, I suppose you did only glance over it after all. But remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in the world. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. Basically, what her story was is that she found a kindred soul. She found me. But also, she's having an internal conflict with herself. Like all the streetlights going out, that could be pathways in her life are closing. Like she has lost all her friends. Her family has shut her out. She shut out her family, but she's trying to find some semblance of normality, which is a very common thing to do, especially when you go through a lot of trauma. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost. You know, I just realized I'm also kind of just speaking about my own experiences whenever I say stuff like that, because I have been through a lot in my life. I know a lot of people have. I'm not gonna say, oh, my life has been horrible, it's been worse than yours. No, my life has been good at times, and it's been bad at times, but that's just how life is. Now, trauma, of course, that affects me big time, which is why I went through a lot of therapy growing up. I still go to it every once in a while, so I'm just trying to, fix myself, you know? Lingering your last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past. And soon to be left with nothing. That's a lot more soul in putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive. It's nothing really. You're so impressive too, so... Nah. If anything, I could probably learn a thing or two from you. You think so? Yeah, of course. You know, I was really nervous about doing all this, but in the end I enjoyed it. I'm going to keep doing my best for you, LigBeast. Me too. Who should I show my poem to next? Let's go see Yuri. This is a good poem, LigBeast. Are you sure it's your first time? Of course. It's not that good, and am I the kind of guy who would be writing poems in his spare time? I guess you're right. But that's why it impressed me. Well, to be honest, I was afraid that you wouldn't do it seriously, or that you wouldn't write one at all. I'm really happy that you wrote one. It just reminds me of how you're really a part of the club now. Not to mention the fact that I'm standing in front of you in the club room. Well, of course.
I'm not really into it yet, but that doesn't mean I'll break my promise.
See? It's like I said before, LigBeast. Deep down, you're not as selfish as at all, you know. Trying new things like this for other people. That's something that only really good people do.
Thanks, Sayori. I'm not sure if Sayori sees the full picture of my motive here. Then again, I can't deny that she's part of the reason I joined. Knowing how much this means to her and all.
Yeah. And I'm gonna make sure you have lots of fun here, okay? That would be my way of thanking you.
Alright, I'm going to hold you to that then.
Yay! Now, you'll read my poem too, right? Don't worry, I'm really bad at this.
We'll see about that.
Dear sunshine, the way you glow through my blinds in the morning, it makes me feel like you missed me. Kissing my forehead to help me out of bed, making me rub the sleepy from my eyes. Are you asking me to come out and play? Are you trusting me to wish away a rainy day? I look above, the sky is blue. It's a secret, but I trust you, Sue. If it wasn't for you, I could sleep forever, but I'm not mad. I want breakfast.
She is very airheaded, but this also sounds like, let's see, the sunshine, like the kissing my forehead to help me out of bed, making me rub the sleepy from my eyes. She's talking about me. It's weird how all these stories, I know it's like every girl, I'm the only male in this situation, but it's very odd how each one has a slight attraction to me. I don't know how Natsuki's is going to be. I haven't actually played this game in a long time, so this will be a little experience for me. I've watched a lot of gameplay on this game though. Sayori, this is just a guess, but did you wait until this morning to write this?
No, just a little bit.
You can't answer just a little bit to a yes or no question.
I forgot to do it last night.
Well, at least that makes me feel a little better about myself.
Don't be mean. I still tried my best.
Yeah. I didn't mean to say that it was a bad poem. It came out nice, or how should I put it? It sounds just like you.
Really?
Yeah. Especially that last line.
I made eggs and toast.
Even though you're late to school.
It's bad to skip breakfast. I get all cranky.
Well, I guess there's no point in arguing. Anyway, thanks for showing me.
This was so much fun. Monica's the best.
Yeah.
But next time I won't forget. And I'm gonna write the best poem ever. Well, I guess I look forward to it.
I guess I look forward to it. Let's go Natsuki. I'm gonna botch her voice.
Well, it's just about what I expected from someone like you.
That's a little blunt.
Well, excuse me. It's not like I said it was bad. It's just didn't evoke any emotions. So basically it's not cute enough for my taste. Do you want to get smacked?
I'll pass.
Sigh. Well, anyway, I guess I need to show you mine. Not that you'll like it. Eagles can fly, monkeys can climb, crickets can leap, horses can race, owls can seek, cheetahs can run, eagles can fly, people can try, but that's about it.
That little last line, like this is more like slam poetry basically.
Eagles can fly, monkeys can climb, crickets can leap, horses can race, owls can seek, cheetahs can run, eagles can fly, people can try, but that's about it.
People can try, but we will always end up either one, failing, or just miraculously doing things. And basically what this is, she doesn't feel like she's adequate enough, and that's reflected in her story. Also, is this her theme music? It's kind of a vibe.
Yeah, I told you that you weren't gonna like it.
I like it.
What?
I love slam poetry, to be perfectly honest.
Just be honest.
I am. Why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it?
Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff, so you don't even take my writing seriously.
But isn't the point of poems for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less vivid.
Yes, exactly. I like it when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard. Like my fist. Like in this poem. Seeing everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening. So I decided to write about it. Yeah, I understand. But the other nice thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like I set up for a rhyme at the end, but then made it fall flat on purpose. It helps bring out the feeling in the last line.
So you did. I guess more went into it than I realized.
That's what it means to be a pro. I'm glad you learned something.
That smug face.
Didn't expect that from the youngest one here, did you?
Okay, she does feel inadequate. I was wondering if that was like why she acted like that. She has a tiny person syndrome or something like that. Yeah, I guess not. I decided to humor her with that last comment. I don't really care how old everyone is, but if Natsuki's feeling proud that I won't take that away from her. I'll show it to Monica.
Hi, Ligby. Having a good time so far?
Yeah.
Good, glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions with the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay?
Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in.
Anyway, want to show your poem with me?
It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to.
Don't worry, Ligby. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know. But it's that sort of barrier that we'll all learn to get past soon.
Yeah, that's true. I hand Monica my poem.
Great job, Ligby. I was going, oh, in my head while reading it. It's really metaphorical. I'm not sure why, but I didn't expect you to go for something so deep. I guess I underestimated you.
It's easy for me to keep everyone's expectations low. That way, it always counts when I put in some effort.
That's not very fair. Well, I guess it worked anyway. You know, the Yuri likes this kind of writing, right? Writing that's full of imagery and symbolism. Unlike Sayori, who likes using simple and direct words to describe happiness and sadness, Yuri likes it when readers are left to derive their own meaning out of it. It's very challenging to write like that effectively, but allowing people to get something out of it just by feel, letting them deeply analyze all the nuances. It could take years of practice, which I'm assuming Yuri has at this point. I never really asked though. I'm sure I'm nowhere near level yet. Don't worry so much about that. You do your own thing. Just keep exploring and learn by trying new things. I'm sure I'll end up trying different things a lot. It could take a while before I feel comfortable doing this. That's okay. I'd love to see you try new things. That's the best way to find the kind of style that suits you. Everyone else might be a little bit biased toward their own kinds of styles, but I'll always help you find what suits you the most. So don't force yourself to write the way everyone else wants you to. Right. Are you gonna show me a poem? It's not like you have to worry about impressing them or anything. Also, she isn't one of the choices, and that topic will be touched on later. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Oh wait, whoa! I didn't realize she was gonna have a poem. Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident. Someone's claim not to be very good. Well, that's because I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know. I see. Well, let's read it then. Hole in wall. Couldn't have been me. See the direction the sparkle protrudes. A noisy neighbor, an angry boyfriend. I'll never know I wasn't home. I peer inside for a clue. No, I can't see. I reel, blind like a film left out in the sun, but it's too late, my retinas. Already scorched with a permanent copy of the meaningless image. It's just a little hole. It wasn't too bright. It was too deep. Stretching forever into everything, a hole of infinite choices. I realize now that I wasn't looking in, I was looking out, and he on the other side was looking in. They're talking about me, like the actual person. This guy. This guy. She is aware that she's a part of this game, sort of thing, you know? Like, the screen is the little hole in the wall, sort of thing. Or my camera, as you might be seeing me through my camera. So, what do you think? It's very freeform, if that's what you want to call it. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback. Haha, it's okay. Yeah, that kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on the timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful. What was the inspiration behind this one? Well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it. I guess you'd say that I had this kind of epiphany recently. She's become aware. Epiphany. She's become aware. It's been influencing my poems a bit. An epiphany. Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that because it's kind of something coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. If you try so hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on paper and tidy it up later. Anyway, another way to think about this is, if you keep your pen in the same spot too long, you'll just get a big dark puddle of ink. So just move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Phew, I guess that's everyone. I glance around the room. That was a little more stressful than I anticipated. It's as if everyone is judging me for my mediocre writing abilities. Even if they're just being nice, there's no way my poems can stand up to theirs. This is a literature club after all. I sigh. I guess that's what I ended up getting myself into. Across the room, Sayori and Monica are happily chatting. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. As they read in tandem, I watch each of their expressions change. Natsuki's eyebrows furrow in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly. What's with this language? Eh? Did you say something? Oh, it's nothing. Natsuki just submissively returns the poem to the desk with one hand. I guess you could say it's fancy. Ah, thanks. Yours is cute. Cute? Did you completely miss the symbolism or something? It's clearly about the feeling of giving up. How can that be cute? I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice. Eh? You mean you have to try that hard to come up with something nice to say? Thanks. But it really didn't come out nice at all. Well, I do have a couple suggestions. If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Zori liked it, and LigBeastYT did too. So based on that, I'm glad to give you some suggestions of my own. First of all, excuse me. Appreciate the offer, but it's been a long time establishing my writing style. I don't expect it to change anytime soon, unless of course I come across something particularly inspiring, which I haven't yet. LigBeastYT liked my poem too, you know. He even told me he was impressed by it. Natsuki suddenly stands up. Oh? I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress a new member, Yuri. Huh? That's not what you're just... Yuri stands up as well. Maybe you just silly at LigBeastYT appreciates my advice more than he appreciated yours. Oh no, I caused a wedge in their relationship. Huh? And do you know, how do you know you didn't appreciate my advice more? Are you that full of yourself? No. If I was full of myself, I'd deliberately go on my way to make everything I do overly cutesy. Oh crap. Cat fight! Is everyone alright? Or is everyone okay? Well, you know what? I wasn't the one whose boobs magically grew a size bigger as soon as LigBeastYT started showing up.
Bruh, now she's bringing boobs into it because she got tiny ones and she has bigger ones.
Natsuki! Natsuki, that's a little... This doesn't involve you! I don't like fighting, guys. Suddenly, both girls turn towards me, as if they just noticed I was standing there. Like me. She's just trying to make me look bad. That's not true. She started it. If she could get over herself and learn to appreciate that simple writing is more effective, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. What's the point in making your poems all convoluted for no reason? The meaning should jump out at the reader, not force them to have to figure it out. Help me explain that to her, LigBeastYT. Wait. There's a reason we have so many deep and expressive words in our languages. It's the only way to convey complex feelings and meaning the most effectively. Avoiding them is not only unnecessarily limiting yourself, it's also a waste. You understand that, right, LigBeastYT? Well? How did I get dragged into this in the first place? It's not like I know anything about writing, but whoever I agree with, they'll probably think more highly of me. So, of course, that's going to be... Natsuki, you're right that I liked your poem. See? Wait, That's not an excuse for you to be so mean. You shouldn't pick a fight just because someone's opinion is different. That's not what happened at all. Yuri wouldn't even take my poem seriously. I understand. Yuri, eh? You're a seriously talented writer. It's no secret that I was impressed. Well, that's... But here's the thing. No matter how simple or refined someone's writing is, they're still putting feelings into it and it becomes something really personal. That's why Natsuki felt threatened when he said her poem was cute. I see. I didn't notice that oh my god, I just realized the freaking, the maintenance people are outside mowing the lawn. Oh, that's loud. That's gonna mess up my recording audio, I bet. Oh well. I'm sorry. But Natsuki, you took it way too far. Yuri means well, and if you just told her how you felt, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. Are you kidding? That's exactly what I did. It was her that... Natsuki, I think that's enough. You both said some things that you didn't mean. Yuri apologized. Don't you think you should too? Natsuki clenches her fists. In the end, nobody has taken her side. She's trapped at this point, being defiant only because she can't handle the pressure. I end up even feeling bad for her. Sometimes when I'm hurt, it helps to take a walk and clear my head. Yuri, she doesn't need to. You know what? I'm going to do that. It'll smart if I look at all your faces right now. Without warning, Natsuki snatches her own poem up from the desk and storms out. Oh, I just smacked my microphone. On her way out, she comes up the poem with her hands and throws it in the trash. Natsuki, she really didn't need to do that. I look across the room. Yuri has her chin buried in her hands while she stares down at her desk. I gingerly approach her and sit in an adjacent chair. Sorry, everything alright? I'm so embarrassed. I can't believe I acted like that. You probably hate me now. No, Yuri, how could anyone not have gotten frustrated after being treated like that? You handled it as well as anyone could. I don't think any less of you. Well, alright, I believe you. Thanks, LigBeastYT, you're too kind. I'm thankful to have you a part of this club now. It's nothing. One more thing. That one thing that Natsuki said about, I would never do anything so shameful. So, what thing did Natsuki say? Well, never mind that. I'm gonna make some tea. Good idea. Make enough for more than one person, okay? Yeah. Okay, everyone, it's about time for us to leave. How did you all feel about sharing poems? It was a lot of fun. Well, I'd say it was worth it. It was alright. Well, mostly. LigBeastYT, how about you? Yeah, I'd say the same. It was a neat thing to talk about with everyone. Awesome. In that case, we'll do the same thing tomorrow, and maybe you learn something from your friends too, so your poems will turn out even better. I think to myself, I did learn a little more about the kinds of poems everyone likes, but with any luck, that means I can at least do a better job impressing those I want to impress. I nod to myself, new, profound, little determination. LigBeastYT, ready to walk home? Sure, let's go. Yuri beams at me. It surely has been a while since Yuri and I spent this much time together. I can't really say I'm not enjoying it either. So Yuri, what happened earlier? What do you mean? Between Yuri and Natsuki, does that kind of thing happen often? No. That's really the first time I've seen them fight like that. I promise they're both wonderful people. You don't hate them, do you? No, I don't hate them. I just wanted your opinion, that's all. I can see why they'd make good friends with you. Phew. LigBeastYT, it's nice that I get to spend time with you in the club, but I think seeing you get along with everyone is what makes me the happiest. I think everyone really likes you too. That's... Every day is going to be so much fun. Sigh. It looks like Yuri still hasn't caught onto the kind of situation I'm in. Sure, being friends with them is nice, but does it really need to stop there? We'll just have to see what the future holds, Yuri. I pat Sayori on the shoulder. I said that more to myself than to her, but it's easy to use Sayori as an internal monologue sometimes. Okay. Yeah, let's do this. Alright, I guess it's time for me to write another poem. Melancholy, passion, Doki, depression. Oh, that's gonna go for her, I forget. Fortune. Graveyard. Contamination. Tragedy. Oh, that's gonna be her. Knockdown. Imagination. Infallible. No question, rain cloud, lazy COVID. Heaven sent fear. Let's go ahead and search. Vivacious, she likes big words. Disarray, Starscape, agonizing. Unrestrained. Massacre. Judgment, frightening. Universe, flying, family, jump, determination, vitality, entropy. Destiny, promise, anxiety, precious. Oh yeah, all these were the Yuri run. Another day passes and it's time for the club meeting already. Well, that, my friends, is a stopping point right there. We got through the second day, we've done another Yuri poem, meaning that our next line of dialogue will most likely all have to do with Yuri. So I'm doing this in stages, and I will play the entire game. I'm not gonna like stop at one ending or anything like that. So anyways, thank y'all so much for watching, and I will see y'all in the next one. Peace out.